Greetings, I'm Jeff Horstman with the Press Enterprise AMP.com, and welcome to this edition of Political Empire. Today we're going to be talking about a complaint against a candidate in the Riverside mayor's race, and then we're going to be joined by the Riverside City reporter who's going to get a little more in depth into the arrest of a speaker at our recent Riverside Council meeting. But first, the complaint against Rusty Bailey. Riverside resident Vivian Moreno filed a complaint through the City of Riverside and the Riverside Unified School District alleging mayoral candidate and high school government teacher Rusty Bailey made some disparaging remarks about women while speaking at city council meetings while he was teaching. Now, an investigation by Poly High's principal found no wrongdoing, but the city ethics complaint will be heard November 16th. Now, Moreno is a frequent critic of city policies, and she's actually suing the city over the use of some water funds, and she says she's not really satisfied with the investigation and thought it was pretty biased. So now we're going to talk about the arrest of a speaker at the recent Riverside Council meeting. If you don't recall, she went over her time a little bit, and she ended up getting handcuffed and arrested by city police officers. And this prompted questions as to whether she should have been arrested, the conduct of the council members, and so forth. And here's a clip, actually, of what happened.
Are you going to stand up? I cannot get up without putting my hands down. Stop! I physically cannot get up. That's where I get up. You can ask my mom or any of my extended family. This is your legacy, Mayor. This is your legacy. I physically...
Joining us now is reporter Alicia Robinson, who shot that clip and was obviously in the council chambers where it took place. Alicia, just go over again kind of what happened, what led up to all this.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, this was a story that just grew legs and kind of kept walking since last week. It started at the October 23rd council meeting. In the evening session, Karen Wright, who's a longtime city resident and often comes to the council, usually to criticize, sometimes to praise. On this particular evening, she was talking about a sludge hauling contract, and she ran over the 3 minutes that are allotted to public speakers. And when she was told by the mayor to stop speaking, she kept going for a little bit longer. So the police officer, who happened to be stationed in the chambers for security, came up to try to get her to stop. He suggested that she sit down, and she kept talking, and she said she was not going to sit down. So he was kind of took her by the arm and was trying to lead her away, and then they had a little bit of a struggle, I guess, and she ended up on the floor. She ended up getting handcuffed and ultimately was taken out of the chambers and arrested.
Right. Now, I understand that since this happened, you have come across a report by a police officer that offers some kind of interesting, shall we say, insight or maybe a little bit of contradictory statements regarding what happened?
Yeah, no, this just happened this week. We filed a public records request with the city to get the arresting officer's report. Now, the city officials had maintained from the beginning that while they were not questioning what the officer did, that it was the discretion of the officer to decide that the handcuffs were necessary and that the arrest was necessary based on the conduct. And by the way, Wright was cited with disturbing a public meeting, which is a misdemeanor. But when I got the arresting officer's report, he actually writes in it that after Wright went over her time in the afternoon session and nothing unfortunate occurred, the officer writes, when the meeting concluded, I was approached by City Attorney Greg Priamos. Priamos requested that during future meetings, I should stop Wright from going too long past the 3-minute allotted time. So what it seems that he's suggesting is that he was directed in some way by the city attorney to do something to stop this woman from speaking too long, and that, you know, that what ensued was because of that direction. Now, the city attorney disputes the accuracy of the officer's account, but he also declined to elaborate on what was said. He did say they had a brief conversation, but he wouldn't tell me what he said to the officer. So it's kind of unknown exactly what happened. The city also had said that they are going to come up with a new protocol so that the mayor or whoever is running the meeting is the one who makes the call on whether to remove someone from the council chambers, and so that it does not seem like it's just being left up to the police.
Interesting. Well, like you said, I mean, it seemed like, you know, maybe this kind of isolated incident, and now we're finding out more and more about it, and it just raises some interesting questions about public participation versus, you know, civil or, civil conduct at at these type of public forums. So thank you very much, Alicia, for your time. I appreciate it. And thank you for joining us. Once again, I'm Jeff Horstman for the Press Enterprise, AMP.com. Thanks for watching.